Now that this person has fully gained control of its human ego, mind, self, existence, and really covered everything about consciousness and what really drives this force. And beyond the beyondness that we are, this unbelievable, wise, and sophisticated, intelligent, universal beingness that we want to appear here as, and we do. So we take on a body, and here we are, the body, and so many videos of so many words of nonsense and utterings, and in all honesty, they're all based on truth, because truth is unified existence in every aspect, no separation whatsoever. But that's not what we're experiencing as a human mind, as a human body. So therefore, this guy has returned fully to say, you know what, no more of this consciousness and this, it's enough, because it's really a lesson for the speaker to get back on the track of the true purpose of what we're here for as a human. And the true purpose we are here for as a human, as an individual human, as a me, a person, an identity, ego state, is to realize that altogether as one, we don't have a purpose. We're just experiencing the beauty of being alive in some sort of vessel, some sort of body. And we, as one, arrive here purely clean, with a body that is impeccably perfect and pure as a child, with a mind that has no stains on it. And therefore we see the world for what it is. And the problem is, can we maintain that, you see, because we are surrounded each by already existing forms of mind, forms of individual human species. So it's very difficult to maintain that pure beingness. And that is peace. You see, that's peace. We arrive here as a peace, a world of peace, a world of pure beingness. And somewhere, matters not, somewhere down the line, this ego built itself up into some sort of real force. It wanted to stay here and remain here. It wanted to elongate the body that was a temporary vessel. It wanted to keep it here longer so that it can taste more of this beauty. And that's all it is. It's a bit of, I don't want to go home yet. I'm greedy to be here. I'm greedy to know. I'm greedy to understand. I'm greedy for the information. I'm greedy for the love. I'm greedy for the quality of breathing. I'm greedy for all these things. And you can say to yourself, well, that's okay. You're not really greedy for the things that have been born from that, like money and power and superiority. We're all greedy here to be here as long as we possibly can. And a wonderful body and a wonderful environment and a beautiful planet and a great universe that keeps everything going through a consciousness that loves us impeccably. And that's our true nature. Our true nature is to be here and just accept and have faith and trust. We have to face up to the ego, you see. We have to face up to this external ego that is now building itself a structure inside. It's building itself an identity, a force. You're a force. You can do well in school. You can do brilliant. You can do better than the others. You can go far. You can be rich. You can be famous. All based on love, though. All not for a soul. I want my child to be better. I just, through love, want you to experience this colossal opportunity is to be in a body and take every moment and grab it. But the thing is, we begin to lose our presence, you see. the presence that we are, this accepting, this trusting, this just observing, this beautiful, oh, I'm so enjoying just being alive. We focus on the mind that now has been planted for the purpose. Through our love for our parents, we want to please our parents. We want to keep our parents happy. Parents want to keep us happy. So we try harder for things to impress, because you begin to feel unloved because parents are saying you can become, when in the first 6 weeks of life you're perfect, absolute, pristine beauty, love, impeccable quality. And it's a misinterpretation from the child and a misinterpretation from the parents that create this need to expand into ego domain. And that's all that happens, you see. This speaker, its ego was growing and growing without even knowing it was growing, and it was taken aside and scolded. And Yuji Krishnamurti, Eckhart Tolle, all these wonderful speakers say the same thing. I was shocked out of this ego. The ego was nullified. It was destroyed. It was annihilated for a period of time to give insight on what God is, on what beyond the universe is, and all that previous videos of trying to describe the truth about what we are, where we come from. What is of no use in your school, no use in your university, no use even to the philosophers. They don't really, no one really cares about your experience, because it's important to have your own experience, and you don't want to reach this awakening enlightenment if you possibly can. So what is the answer in a human state? What is the way to continue without having to seek for God, seek for religion, seek for spirituality, seek for some sort of proof, some sort of need to find that umbilical cord that was cut? I need to reconnect with something so I can remind myself, I can self-realize, and that's self-inquiry, you see. But how can we do it without that, you see? And that's what all these great speakers turn into, you see. I had 7-8 years of trying to overcome this wisdom, this beauty, this God that kept speaking, this consciousness, this spirit, this soul that kept entering this vessel and trying to kind of speak through the laptop to myself, not to the world. And the great speakers, Eckhart Tolle and Adyashanti and Robert Spear and all these wonderful, beautiful speakers, they don't speak about consciousness and that anymore. They speak about how it is, how we can do it as a human. And in the human side, we're all individual. We are unique. There's no way that we've been put here to become friends, to become world peace. There's no way that we become here to unite and become one culture. These are ideas born from some sort of inner knowledge that we are one and we want to become one. We can't become one when you're human. You can only become one when you've had enough of the human, the ego side. And when you become one, you then are transformed back into your human state after a period to realize that, oh, all of that was nonsense. You know, we are one, but we're here to be individual. We're here to be unique. And there's only one thing that we're here to be. A purpose, you know, a reason. And that purpose and reason is to be present and kind. Kindness is the only thing that we can project to each other. And kindness is not how to improve that person, how to educate that person, how to enhance that person, and how to motivate that person, how to give that person some sort of power. Kindness is just to accept the person for what they are. It's called presence. You look at another person, you're present with what you're seeing. The person doesn't have to do an act of kindness. The kindness is that interaction, that silent moment when you actually look into some other human and say, wow, I've nothing to say. I just like being in this one's presence. I like being in my own presence. And the best way to describe it is, if you see an animal in the forest, a deer, a badger, a fox, you don't wait for it to be kind. Just its presence is enough to say, wow. And you go home and you tell, I saw this beautiful deer. Wonderful, beautiful, great. Looked at me. I thought, wow, we really connected. The deer doesn't have to perform some act of kindness. The monkey or whatever it is in the forest where you live doesn't have to perform some act of kindness to another monkey or to another deer. They just look. They are there. They climb. They graze. They're just there. Their presence is impeccable. And it's your presence that you're really concerned about. They have reflected a pure example of what it is to be like, to be here as a human, to recognize that everyone is kind. The ego mind doesn't suggest that. The ego mind says all these wonderful rich people in Silicon Valley or whatever rich people live in the temples or in the palaces of Arabia, they're not being kind, you see, they're not sharing their money, but they're being kind to each other. The impossibility that we have created as an ego mind is to say, let's be kind to the whole world. It's impossible. Your human body cannot perceive anything that it doesn't, its emotional and sensory functions can reach. We try and change the world through electronic, through digital. We try and make everyone happy in every other country. When all you have to be is to be kind. Kindness is just to accept everyone for what they are and give and receive. And not try and better, try and score points, try and compete, try and nullify that one because I want to give something bigger. I just want to be kind. Presence is kindness. Love. Love cannot be tasted in its purest sense as a human. The only benefit of awakening and enlightenment is you become that intense, pure love. But there's nothing you can do with it. You just experience it. You glow with love. The world reflects that glow. And love is all that exists. And you understand what the basis of life is. The basis of life is love. But as a human, you cannot experience that whole love. Kindness is the nearest thing to come to experiencing love. Kindness is the love of the human, the love of the mind. So kindness is not lesser than love if it's received and accepted with pure, tranquil contentment. The idea that joy and pain are two opposites will keep you roller coasting from mind to soul, mind to soul, mind to soul. Then ego comes in, ego to mind. Soul is dispersed, spirit is dispersed, ego to mind, ego to mind. The idea that joy, the two extreme opposites, are the way to go. I was transcended into this beautiful light. But there's no joy there. There's just tranquil peace, liberated, profound love and contentment for being alive, for realizing I'm only here to be kind, to accept and be grateful for everything that I see. I'm grateful when the deer passes by and doesn't look or runs away. I just love the snake. It looks up and it scurries away. It's not about what the snake is doing, it's about the presence of being completely present with that moment. And that moment cannot be maintained every day of our life because our ego state will now, through education, through our parents, through our misinterpretation as being a child, misinterpretation of being a parent, thinking this is what the child should do, parent, child thinking this is what the parent wants me to do, this is what the teacher wants me to do, this is what the politicians want me to do. These are all nonsense stuff, but they're all lessons. They're all necessary to get you back to that state of kindness that we are here to be. So I don't see the point in continuing with any more of these profound, soulful, spiritual, out of ego state conversations or utterings. And I certainly don't see the point of telling you what you already know. The kindness is the most profound act. Trust and kindness is can only be given or can only be balanced by a true knowledge of trust, acceptance, and faith that whatever put you here will take you home. And you've no worries about before birth, after death. You've no worries about death. You've no worries about birth. You've no worries about life. When you're kind to yourself, kind, not rewards, not benefits, not other things, not extras, not needs, not desires. These will be tasted and no one is exempt from these. But they're all taking you back to the act of being kind. So these conversations are just human knowledge, human second nature stuff for all of us. So I don't see the point of continuing with this either. So I want to leave you with the most profound statement that really sticks in my mind, the most simplest, by a great master who completely took me aside, in spirit side and soulful side. And he said this words in a satsang and he left it in his book. The book is called Truth Is, and it's Babaji Punja. And he said, which I've repeated in many videos previously up to now. Disciple in satsang says to the master, Master, can you tell me what we can do to help this mankind? What can we do for mankind? And Babaji simply says, the only thing we can do for mankind is for all of us to be kind man, meaning kind human. And kindness is not anything difficult. It's not an act. It's not a practice. It's our true nature as a human form. As our soul and spirit, then that's different. That's oneness. That is complete adoration, complete love, complete surrendering, complete merging with everything, with the world, with the universe, and where everything becomes the same. Everything becomes that what it is. In a human sense, we're a species that cannot maintain the same things because we are uniquely different. We are uniquely brought up through our cultures, through our education. We are told different things. We, as ego, will struggle to try and unify the world. So don't waste your life trying to unify the world. Be kind to those around. Be kind by being present. Be kind by being accepting, by trusting, by being in faith. That's all. And we can really enjoy this life. One life in a body, possibly. I'm not here to know anything. In fact, I know absolutely nothing except that I have to be kind. I have to be present. I have to be true. I have to be accepting. I have to trust. I have to have faith. I don't need fear and worry and all that stuff. These are just hurdles and obstacles to put you back to look for kindness, trust, acceptance, and faith. So You can live your life out fully without awakening, without enlightenment. You can just be that beautiful, kind, present human with a mind that is simple and experiences aspects like love, aspects like joy, pain, illness, pleasure, experiencing the roller coaster ride in the loops. But really, we're here just to motor along, be that boat on that placid lake and just bob along. It's impossible, because we built an ego and we seem to continue to strive to build the ego bigger than what it is. But the ego is crumbling. That's why so many understand the act of kindness. So I want to leave you with the act of kindness and say thank you very, very much for being kind, for being here, for being present, for being aware, for being alive, for being you. Be you. Be the real you. And fluctuate into roles of acting. Today I'm not going to be the real me. I'm going to be angry me. I'm going to be struggling me. I'm going to be poor me. I'm going to be rich me. I'm going to be successful me. I'm going to be searching me. I'm going to be inquiring me. But these are all born from the real me, the real I. Because I am. I am. I am the act of kindness. Thank you very much. And God bless you all. I love you. Just as you are. Just as I am.